He strides onto that MCG turf, Guernsey drenched in sweat from warm-ups, heart pumping. The lights are full tilt. The fans' roar hits like thunder. For Patrick Cripps, this moment's not just another game. It's a living, breathing beast that demands everything. This is the arena. Every bounce, every tackle, it's under the microscope. He doesn't shy away. He leans in. Because he knows, pressure is a privilege. It's what separates players from captains. He's front and center on Ball Magnets podcast, bearing his soul. The number one thing is you never lose hope as a leader. The energy, the spirit, the optimism, you can never lose that. That line cuts through the noise. It's not fluff. It's bloody mindset, shared with every bloke in the 22nd. Turf crunching underfoot. The smell of sweat and adrenaline in the rooms. He feels it all. In that space between toss and whistle, thoughts swirl. Can I set the tone? Can I hold us together? The crowd's pulse becomes his pulse. He's all in. No safe footy, no hiding. He copped criticism after a tough start, but he punched back, never lose hope. He said it again to ABC. I'm very bullish on what we can still do. That's where we're at the moment. That voice is grit. That chase is real. He's not sugarcoating. He's setting the standard. The noise doesn't distract him. It fuels him. Those millions watching, they're not ghosts. They're voices. Mates in the stands, rivals on screen, and he hears them. He grips the ball for a center bounce. Breath steadies. Body locks on instinct. No turning back. That whistle blows. And he's off. Full tilt footy. Because this is his moment. Not just the present. The pressure begins here. And he's built for it. You can smell it in the locker room. The thick silence after another loss. Sweat, mud, strapping tape peeled off slow. No one saying much. Just the dull thud of boots being kicked off, and a few heavy breaths. And right there, sitting against the lockers, is Cripps. Still in his Guernsey. Still in the fire. He's copping it. Not from the boys, they know. From the outside, the experts, the blokes behind microphones, the punters with beers and big opinions. And when Carlton season nosedives, who do they all look at? The bloke with the C on his chest. He didn't duck it, didn't spin it, didn't throw anyone under the bus. He stood there after that Collingwood loss, heart still hammering, and said what everyone felt. Mate, if I had the answers, I wish I'd hell knew. Followed it with, I'm very bullish on what we can still do. Hell, that's where we're at the moment. Raw, unfiltered. The kind of honesty you only hear from a bloke who's feeling every bruise. That's when the Sharks smell blood. Headlines like, is Cripps done? Whispers in pubs, has he lost the spark? Comments online, trade him, strip the captaincy. And he coulda cracked, but he didn't. On the AFL podcast On the Inside, he said it straight. You find out who wants to step away and who wants to dig in. No fancy words, just the truth. And he's digging, all right. The self-doubt, it shows up. Late nights, long drives, ice packs on sore knees. He thinks it. Am I still the one? He feels it. That sting when a teammate walks past without eye contact after a bad quarter. But he doesn't flinch. He leans into it. Back in the club, he calls it out. Not with a scream, but with a steady voice. We reset, we own it, and they listen. Because it's not just what he says, it's how he plays. The chase downs, the second efforts, the way he throws his frame into danger for a half chance. That's what separates him. Not a stat sheet, not a highlight reel. The bloke still swinging when most would drop their head. And that, mate, that's what leadership looks like. It wasn't some highlight reel hanger or a goal from the boundary. It was dirtier than that. Messier. Real. Carlton's season was dangling by a thread. Another sluggish start, bodies heavy, fans groaning in the stands. The kind of day where belief fades fast, unless someone forces it back. Ball spills from a contest at half-back. Cripps doesn't hesitate. He charges, boots smacking turf, straight into traffic. Bodies fly. 1, 2 tackles. He shrugs them off, grabs the footy, and goes. He's not the quickest bloke out there, but no one's catching him, bursts through the guts, sidesteps one, delivers a bullet to a leading forward. Mark, goal. The crowd erupts, but it's not just noise, it's a shift. He jogs back, chest heaving, Guernsey pulled out of shape. No grin, no fist pump, just that Cripps look. We're on. Later that week he said, he's not the quickest bloke out there, but no one's catching him, bursts through the guts, sidesteps one, delivers a bullet to a leading forward. Mark, goal. The crowd erupts, but it's not just noise, it's a shift. He jogs back, chest heaving, Guernsey pulled out of shape. No grin, no fist pump, just that Cripps look. We're on. Later that week he said, the whole side lifted, tackles started sticking, hands were cleaner, the crowd got louder, not because of a spray, not because of a board, because one bloke went full tilt when it mattered. You can't train that. You can't fake it. That's instinct. That's leadership. And this isn't a fairy tale moment. He copped knocks. He limped for the rest of the quarter, but never dropped the head, never looked for praise. He just dug in deeper. Footy's about moments, he said. You take 'em or you watch 'em pass. That one wasn't on the stat sheet, but every Carlton fan felt it, and every teammate knew. Something turned right there. There's a moment in every season where the excuses run dry. You've either built something or you haven't. You've either got the blokes beside you ready to bleed or you don't. And Cripps, he made damn sure it counted. They'd been written off. Again. The latter told one story. The footy world another. But Cripps only listened to the lads inside those four walls. And when it mattered most, when the heat was coming and the noise was deafening, he stood up. Not with words, not with speeches, with actions. He charged through a contested ball on the wing, one of those moments where most blokes would pull up and protect the ribs. Not him. He launched, got sandwiched, hit the deck hard, silenced for a split second, then he bounced up like nothing happened, handballed, pushed forward, ended up inside 50, still barking instructions. One of the young mids said after, when he does that, you just follow, no questions. That's what leadership looks like when the season's on the line. Cripps isn't out there to look pretty. He's out there to impact, to take games and bend them into shape, and he knows it. You play to win, to make moments count. Otherwise, what's the point? Simple as that. And every Carlton fan watching knew he wasn't just talking, he was bleeding for the badge. Inside the club, the shift was real. Confidence crept in, belief took root, not because of a miracle, but because their skipper kept showing up, hurt, tired, targeted, still there, no flinching, no backing off. And in those final quarters, when lungs are cooked and legs are jelly, he digs again. He finds another contest, another block, another shepherd that opens the space. No one claps for those, no one tweets those, but that's where flags are built. That's where mateship becomes legacy. And Cripps, he's all in, every moment, every game, every Guernsey. He won't play forever. That's the brutal truth. One day, the boots come off, the lockers cleared, and the cheers become echoes. But Patrick Cripps? He's not chasing legacy on a plaque. He's building something deeper. It's not about stats. It's not about Brownlows. It's about what stays once he's gone. The standard. You ask any young bloke coming through Carlton now, and they'll tell you, Cripps set the tone. Not just in the big games, in the gym, in the cold Monday reviews, in the silent walk after a loss, when no one feels like talking, but he still walks over, claps your back, and says, "Head up, you're in the fight now." That's his real message. He's said it himself. Footy can teach you the hard way, but that's where you grow. He's not just a player, he's a reminder that you don't have to be the flashiest. You just have to show up every single time. He's played busted, played under fire, played with the city on his shoulders, and still gets back up. The fans know it, the club knows it, the kids watching from country towns know it too. That bloke in the number 9 Guernsey didn't just represent Carlton. He represented what footy's supposed to mean. No shortcuts, no excuses, just work, mateship, heart. And one day, when the boots are hung up and the next captain walks out of the tunnel, you can bet Cripps will still be there, watching, backing them, because the message doesn't leave with the man. It stays in the locker room, it stays in the song, it stays in the jumper. Because this isn't just a game, it's footy. And Patrick Cripps? No one owns that moment quite like him.